to another edition of the Student Fire Podcast, live from the Speak Fire studio. My name is Bobby Burke. I'm a motivational speaker for schools, and I am here to help you live your best life today. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Student Fire, live from the Speak Fire studio. As we've had last week, and like I said, this week we're going to be talking to my wonderful coach and mentor and just overall incredible youth leader, Lenita. This is part 2 of the interview, and just like we said last week, strap in, grab your notepad, and let's learn some incredible information. Here's part 2.
Choose that one thing, listen back to the podcast and choose that one thing that you want to do, and then it'll just build on top of that eventually, you know. And that's you can be so creative with that, with these different resilience tools. So yeah, that's basically my spiel. So overall, it's being thankful. So my TOUGH acronym, and in order to like really boost your self-confidence, boost your resilience, and overcome any type of hardship in your life. And I promise, guys, this works because I did this as a teenager. This is not something that I got from a textbook in school. It's literally from my own life experience. Number 1, be thankful for what you have in your life. Practice gratitude more than being down and, complaining about what's not working. Number 2 is be optimistic about yourself and your life by practicing positive self-talk through affirmations. Understanding your why. So having a purpose in life, really trying to figure out how can you use your gifts and talents to serve other people. Then number 4 is giving to others. And that's through random acts of kindness and random acts of compassion, both in your family and in your school. And there's a quote by Mother Teresa. She says, if you really want to change the world, start with your family. So do that. Win at home first before you go and try to fix, everything else, or try to, enhance everything else. And then the last one is hack your lifestyle. And that's through just positive, easy habits, basic habits that you can do every day. And that's my 5-step checklist. I wave my right flag. I'm done.
No, that's fantastic. I want to go back to real quick.
Yeah, pick my brain for sure. I'm sure you have questions.
You said a lot about the positive self-talk. What are some moments for you where you noticed yourself kind of going down that path of not having positive self-talk in a situation where you really needed it?
Yeah, that's a big question. I think in a few situations when I was younger, it happened quite often. Although I'm very loved and I have a great family and I was really, really like celebrated in that area, I also had divorced parents. So I wasn't seen from my father. And I always felt like, maybe I did something wrong, or why didn't he want to be in my life? And I felt like I wasn't enough at that stage. So I had to really understand that it had nothing to do with me. I had to really kind of focus on what I bring to life, not what someone else doesn't bring to life. So that was one situation in terms of like really understanding from very early on, from 12 years of age, how, and doesn't matter how old you are listening to this podcast, you have to implant in your mind right away that you are enough, and everything else that you achieve in your life is an absolute bonus, but you got to believe it first. I can't tell you that, Bobby, you can't tell them that until they really just truly, enhance that. And it's just a muscle. You'll get better every day the more you say it to yourself. Mm-hmm. So that was one situation. Another one was, some of my school teachers, they would never actually acknowledge me unless I got an A on a test paper,
Really?
Yeah. Like, or even like the athletic department, unless I was performing really well, I wasn't getting any attention or any acknowledgement from certain adults in my life. Obviously, on the flip side, I was very much celebrated. But then, on the other end, unless I was performing really well, I wasn't getting that. So I had to learn to back myself. I had to learn to be really confident regardless of the outcomes. Mm-hmm. Your grades on your test papers, guys, do not reflect the type of person that you are. It's only a reflection of your academic study routine. That is it. So if you bomb out on a test paper, if you don't make a certain team, that's completely okay. You are enough already. And if you want to enhance certain things, then you just got to enhance the certain habits in place. but I stopped seeking validation and acceptance from other people very early on, respectfully, just because I knew that my life and my image is a reflection of what I think of myself. And I know you guys can do the same at your age too.
Yeah, that's really powerful. I have an episode, one of the earlier episodes that we recorded about, just letting people know that like, you are not just a test grade. Like you can get whatever grade you get back. And I don't care if it's 100%. I don't care if you got like a 35 on something. That is just a showing of what you did at that exact moment in time. That's it. Like, so you didn't study. Okay. There's nothing wrong with like owning that and saying, hey, I dropped the ball. But what do you do from there? And I think that's so cool how you just, at such an early age, you just realize that, yeah, okay, this is not me. I'm me. And I really want to thank you for validating that point, because that has to be one of the most common questions I get from students is they're like, how do you get comfortable with being you? So I'm going to ask you that same thing. How do you, especially from, in your younger years, how did you get so comfortable with just being you regardless of the outcome?
Yeah. I think I found that one outlet that really, enhanced my confidence. Like I knew I was so confident on the basketball court, but then when I stepped off, I was like, I couldn't express myself as much. I was super confident playing basketball, but then when it came to talking in public, I just didn't even know how to talk to people. I was very shy, surprisingly.
Really?
I'm a motivational speaker now.
What?
Yeah, but I had a massive fear of public speaking. I never did debating in high school because I was like, no way I'm doing that. And I couldn't even talk to people. But I knew that I just had to practice the muscle. I started reading self-help development books, like motivational books. I started watching YouTube videos. I started just listening to like motivational podcasts. And in the beginning, it was very strange and I didn't stick at it in the beginning. But then eventually I just, I came back to it and I was like, oh, I'll try listening to another YouTube video. And then a week later, I'll try again. And then eventually it just built after that. So, the more positive thoughts I filled in my head, the less noise was entering from like negativity. So there's a saying that helps with this to kind of bring a little bit more into perspective is you wouldn't let a really bad toxic person or random dangerous stranger enter your home, because that's just crazy. You wouldn't just do that. So why would you let negative, dangerous thoughts enter your mind at the same time?
Yeah.
So think about it that way. These bullies are knocking on the door. These toxic people, whether they're adults or your friends, they're knocking on the door trying to get in to hurt you. You got to close that door. You got to shut off that negativity by strengthening your positive self-talk. And I always say this, don't underestimate how powerful you are as a teenager, because we've gone through this, you and I, Bobby. We started very early, which sets you up and gives you a big advantage when you get into your 20s, your 30s, etc. one day. So the earlier you do start this, the more advantage you're going to have when you're a little bit older. And one thing I love, like God rest his soul, Kobe Bryant, is he always talks about why he wakes up so early, in the morning. And the reason why is because he knows everyone else is asleep. So he started very early on in his life. And what happens is, let's say, for example, he started in grade 7 and woke up early every single morning, but his best mate only started doing that in college. Kobe will always have the advantage because he has so many years of early morning wake up, over his best mate. So the earlier you start the positive self-talk and the habits and, just the routine in place, you're always going to be so much further ahead than where you're at right now, and from other people that start in their 20s.
Yeah. And
so, that's great,
and that's one of my students that I'm coaching personally. He's been saying a lot. He's like, Bobby, I wake up every morning and I either listen to your podcast or I listen to Eric Thomas, like very first thing, fine. Second thing after he makes his bed, but, and he's like, I just, this is really cool. I don't get it. I was like, you don't get what? And he goes, it's 3:30 in the morning and I'm awake and I don't know why. And I'm like, well, if you're going to do this, have a reason, right? It's cool if you get up, but like, do something with it. And more importantly, like he kept doing it and kept sticking with it. And I think it was, what is it? It's the 20th. Yeah. Like 2 or 3 days ago, he got a hold of me. He's like, I finally got it. I was like, you got what? And he goes, I really think I want to write a book. I said, okay.
Nice.
And that's all I said. And then like we changed topics and got into his accountability for the day and we just started going. And this morning he got a hold of me and he goes, I'm already 15 pages in. And I was like, dude, well, it's been 3 days. He's like, yeah, but I get up at 3:30 and you gave me a reason. Like I'm not just up now. Now I'm doing something with it. And I just want to push that point home. Like, guys, if you're going to get up, do something with it. And remember, you have all this time in the day. I get it. School schedules are awful. They really are. Just with the way we do things in America, we should flip schedules completely. Like the high schoolers should be going to school later. The elementary kids should be going to school way earlier, but I get it because parents' work schedules and whatnot. But given that this is the society we live in, y'all still got to work with it, right? So try that out this week. Like really get up an hour early, make your bed, and then whatever that thing that really drives you is, start working on it. And like I said in I think it was like the January 2nd episode, I'm going to tell you that every single week because you need it, because it's made such an impact on my life, and I'm sure it has on yours too, Lenita. If you're going to change your habits, you have to start, right? Let's get on that. And I have one last really, really big question for you.
Sure.
What is the one thing that you think you took away from school the most that's impacted your life?
Oh, I love this question. I love this question. I'm not even going to hesitate with this one. Your influence, the greatest currency you're ever going to have in your life is the influence you have on people. And the only reason why I loved school so much and the reason why I have certain connections is because I was just a good person, and I continue to be a good person. And influence, being a leader in school really just helped me enjoy school life so much more, and I just think relationship building, really just always focusing on being the better person, regardless whether, things don't go to plan or you're getting mistreated. Always think about what type of influencer you can be. And that's the biggest takeaway I took, because I witnessed terrible human beings treating people very badly when it came to students and especially the adults. That's one thing I always talk about. Like some of the teachers I witnessed treating kids, I was like, geez, like as a teenager, I saw it and I was like, nah, I do never want to be a person like that. And so that was one thing. And then on the flip side, I had incredible coaches. I had a basketball coach that I till this day absolutely love. I had a swimming coach. I had a PE teacher that I absolutely adore. So I had certain adults like that too. And it always came down to people will never remember what you actually say, but they'll remember how you made them feel. And that's what I take back from school. It was never about the academic outcomes or the grades. It was always about just human to human conversations and like interactions. And they're the people who win in society. Everything else is just a byproduct of who you are as a person, and that's what I took away from school. And that's what I try to just really help other people understand as well. And like help kids understand you can get good grades. You can study for a test paper, but if you really want to make an impact in life, start, treating people with a lot of respect and growing into that leader for your family and yourself. And people will just be feeding out of the palm of your hand. You'll be infectious. People will just want to be around you because you're a really cool person. Yeah.
See, oh God, that was beautiful. That was it. All right. Well, that's all I've got for you. Do you have anything you want to say as a closing out?
I think at the end of the day, look, you can't expect everyone to understand your decisions because they don't have the same vision for life as you. So just really back yourself, believe yourself. You're never too young to make a difference. You're never too young to really be successful. And remember, you are enough, and just keep backing yourself, and you got it. Be patient and you'll win.
That's fantastic. So Lenita, where can people find you if they want to get a hold of you? What?
Yeah, definitely. So, well, my name is very long. So it's Lenita Abouchabake. My last name's like 11 letters, but I'll link you up with my social media. Yeah, that's a Middle Eastern last name. But Lenita Abouchabake on Instagram, Facebook. I'm on YouTube as well. I put a few motivational videos up on there as well. And then if you guys want to check out my youth, like my actual talks that I do in schools, the Wellbeing Warrior Project. So maybe one day I can get to come to your school and talk and actually meet you guys in person. That'd be cool as well. So yeah, that's overall. Just catch me on social media or the Wellbeing Warrior Project.
Absolutely. See, there it is, guys. So thank you again, Lenita. Thank you so much for your time. Y'all, if you need to go back and listen to this again, I'm going to go back and listen to this again. Like, oh, there's just so many good gems here. But y'all, that's all we got for you. Hope everyone has a wonderful week. I hope everyone really takes what we said today to heart, because there was so much that was said that even if you can take one thing away, it's going to make such a difference. And all it takes is that one day to really make that huge difference for you. So that's all we got for you. I'll catch everyone in the next one next week, and catch you later. Peace. That's all I got for you. I hope everyone has a wonderful week. Y'all, I hope this was helpful. If it was, hit me up on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, or Facebook. Let me know what you thought. Better yet, hop in the reviews on the podcast you're listening to this on and leave a review there. I check all of them, and I will respond to everything that I can. Y'all, I love hearing from you. It's the highlight of my day. I hope everyone has a wonderful week. I hope you are rocking everything that you do. I hope nothing's getting in your way, and for whatever does get in your way, I know you're going to find a way to overcome it like you always do. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace! That was another awesome episode of the Student Fire podcast. Thank y'all for sticking around for this long, but I got a question for you. Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? See, when I was trying to get this podcast off the ground, I had a lot of questions, like how do I record an episode? How do I get my show to apps? Like, do I have to do it individually, or can I just have one place that does everything for me? And most importantly, how do I make money from my podcast? Is that even an option? Well, honestly, y'all, your answer is Anchor. Anchor is the one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it is 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now, Anchor can match you with great sponsors that want to advertise on your podcast. Yes, you. That means you can get paid to make the podcast. You can get paid to podcast the right way. In fact, that's exactly what I'm doing right now by reading this ad. If you want to get down on this, if you want to make your podcast a reality and you want your success and your word to be a thing, man, you already know. Hop over to Anchor and give it a start. You won't regret it. Catch y'all in the next episode. Peace. We are Speak Fire. Who are we? We are a collective of inspirational, motivational, life-guiding speakers here to help you make your best life available and real today. For everyone that's looking for anything and everything leadership, you have to check out my guy, Michael Gingras, over at Leadership Fire. For my youth that are coming up, for those of you that have questions that need answers, go hit up Sean B. He's the host of Young Fire, killing the game every single Monday. For those of you that have questions that go a little deeper, for those of you that need that internal fire inside of you, not just sparked, but you need those flames fanned, go check out Aisha Thomas with Internal Fire. For my fathers, y'all, you are the real MVP. Go check out my guy Jody Cedric, the host of Father's Fire. For my champions, for my people that need to be the champion of not only their day, but their entire life, man, y'all gotta check out my man Neil Legend over at Champion Fire. For my students, doesn't matter if we're talking elementary, middle school, high school, college, my graduate students, all of you, for everything student empowerment, student leadership, and student productivity, tune in to Student Fire with me, your host, Bobby Berg. We are Speak Fire, live every Monday morning, 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You gonna wake up with us? Let's get it.
I am excited to bring you my new book, Trendsetter: 7 Steps to Radically Stand Out to Be the Best You. This book details my journey of coming to the United States and being excited to embrace the American culture. But unfortunately, my culture was not accepted, and I found myself being bullied as a young girl. And in this process, I decided that I wanted to disconnect from my culture to be more accepted into American culture. And through that process, I got so depressed from trying to fit in that I attempted suicide my freshman year in high school. So this book talks about the journey of what I did to become radically transformed, to be the strong woman I am today. This book is something that's really going to enable the reader to understand and embrace who they are, embrace what makes them special, and become radically transformed. Get your copy today at becomingatrendsetter.com. Again, that is becomingatrendsetter.com, or check it out at my website at aishathomas.org.